The Indus Valley Mystery. Welcome to the History in the Shadow. Subscribe US. Advanced civilization that vanished without a trace. What if I told you that 4,500 years ago, there was a civilization more advanced than ancient Egypt and Mesopotamia combined? A civilization with perfect city planning, sophisticated drainage systems, and standardized weights and measures. But then they mysteriously vanished, leaving behind an undeciphered script that still puzzles scientists today. Today, we're diving into the greatest archaeological mystery of all time, the Indus Valley Civilization. Imagine discovering cities more advanced than Rome, built 2,000 years before Rome even existed. That's exactly what archaeologists found when they uncovered the Indus Valley Civilization. In 1921, archaeologist John Marshall made a discovery that changed history. While excavating in modern-day Pakistan, he uncovered not just artifacts, but entire cities that were impossibly advanced for their time. The Indus Valley Civilization, also known as the Harappan civilization, existed from 3,300 to 1,300 BCE. At its peak, it covered more area than Egypt and Mesopotamia combined. But here's what will blow your mind. These cities were better planned than modern cities. Harappa and Mohenjo-daro, the two major cities, were laid out in perfect grid patterns. Every street ran north-south or east-west, creating blocks that would make Manhattan jealous. But the real shock? They had sophisticated drainage systems 4,500 years ago. Every house was connected to a central sewage system. Covered drains ran beneath the streets, with manholes for maintenance. Some historians argue they had better sanitation than many modern cities. Each house had private wells, bathrooms, and waste disposal systems. The Great Bath of Mohenjo-daro was a marvel of engineering, a perfectly waterproofed pool larger than most modern swimming pools. The Harappans were master engineers and craftsmen. They created the world's first standardized weights and measure system. Every brick, every weight, every measurement followed precise standards across the entire civilization. Their metallurgy was incredible. They created bronze tools, weapons, and ornaments that were superior to anything their contemporaries made. They invented the world's first dock and harbor system at Lothal. This tidal dock could handle large ships and had sophisticated lock gates. The Harappans were also master craftsmen. They created intricate jewelry, pottery, and seals with microscopic precision that modern artisans struggle to replicate. But here's where the mystery deepens. The Harappans left behind over 4,000 inscribed objects with symbols that nobody can read. The Indus script contains over 400 unique symbols. Despite decades of research by the world's best linguists and computer scientists, it remains completely undeciphered. Some symbols appear to be pictographic, others abstract. They're found on seals, pottery, and bronze tablets, but we have no idea what they say. This isn't like Egyptian hieroglyphs where we found the Rosetta Stone. There's no bilingual text to help US crack the code. What makes the Indus Valley Civilization even more mysterious is how different they were from other ancient civilizations. Most ancient cities had massive temples, palaces, and monuments to kings. But in Harappan cities, nothing. No temples, no palaces, no royal tombs, no massive statues of rulers. Instead, they seem to have been remarkably egalitarian. Houses were roughly the same size, suggesting less inequality than in Egypt or Mesopotamia. There's no evidence of a king or central authority. How did they maintain such standardization and order without a centralized government? It's a puzzle that still confounds historians. Even more bizarre, there's almost no evidence of warfare. Archaeologists have found very few weapons, no fortified walls, no evidence of battles or destruction from human conflict. This is unprecedented in ancient history. Every other major civilization was built on conquest and war, but the Harappans seemed to have thrived through trade and cooperation. They had extensive trade networks reaching from Afghanistan to Gujarat, from Iran to Rajasthan. Harappan seals have been found in Mesopotamia, showing they traded across vast distances. Evidence suggests Harappan society may have been more gender equal than most ancient civilizations. The famous priest-king statue, which may not be a priest or king at all, is one of the few large sculptures found. But equally prominent are female figurines, suggesting women held important roles. Some historians argue the civilization might have been matriarchal or at least more gender-balanced than its contemporaries. But here's the biggest mystery of all: they vanished. Around 1300 BCE, this incredibly advanced civilization simply disappeared. Cities were abandoned, the script was forgotten, and the people scattered. What happened? The Ghaggar-Hakra river system, which the civilization depended on, dried up due to climate change. Without their water source, the cities became uninhabitable. Theory 2. Invasion. Some historians argue that Aryan invaders from the north conquered the Harappans, though evidence for this is limited. Theory 3. Internal collapse. Perhaps their complex trade networks collapsed, leading to economic breakdown and urban abandonment. Theory 4. Pandemic. Recent discoveries suggest a possible plague or pandemic may have wiped out the population. New discoveries keep making the Harappans more mysterious. In 2019, researchers found evidence that Harappan cities were connected by a sophisticated communication system, possibly the world's first postal network. Satellite imagery has revealed over 1,000 Harappan sites, making it one of the largest ancient civilizations ever discovered. Genetic studies suggest the Harappans were ancestral to modern South Asians, but their direct descendants remain unclear. The most frustrating part? We have thousands of their written records, but we can't read a single word. Imagine if we found a perfectly preserved library from an advanced ancient civilization, but all the books were in an alien language. That's exactly the situation with the Indus script. Computer algorithms have been used to analyze the patterns, but even artificial intelligence can't crack the code. The Harappan emphasis on sanitation, urban planning, and trade over warfare offers lessons for modern society. Their apparent gender equality and lack of extreme wealth inequality were incredibly progressive for their time. Some historians argue that the Harappan model focused on sustainability, trade, and urban development rather than conquest, might be more relevant to our modern world than the warrior cultures we typically study. Today, archaeologists are still excavating Harappan sites. New technologies like ground-penetrating radar and satellite imagery are revealing more sites every year. Perhaps one day, we'll find the Harappan equivalent of the Rosetta Stone and finally read their words. Or maybe the mystery is part of their appeal. A civilization so advanced yet so enigmatic that they continue to challenge everything we think we know about ancient history. The Indus Valley Civilization proves that history is full of surprises. Here was a society more advanced than Rome, more peaceful than Egypt, more egalitarian than Greece, and we're still trying to understand them. They left U.S. perfect cities, sophisticated technology, and thousands of written records we can't read. They're a reminder that our understanding of the past is still incomplete. What do you think happened to the Harappans? Do you believe they were more advanced than we currently understand? If this mystery fascinated you, smash that like button, subscribe for more archaeological mysteries, and comment your theory about their disappearance. Next week, the lost city of Atlantis, fact or fiction? New evidence that will shock you.